Hey, movie studios. If you put out better movies, you won't get negative numbers on Rotten Tomatoes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Pop Culture Cult. I am Sean.
I'm Janice.
Be excellent to each other. And welcome to this week's episode, episode number 38.
Oh, we're getting old.
Soon will be the answer.
A couple more, like a month.
Yeah. We have some stuff to go over. Last week was a lot of movie kind of news and stuff like that. Not much TV. This week, a lot more TV stuff. Which is just how it goes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have a rush of everything like Comic-Con, and then
Well, TV season starts soon.
soon, 1st of October for the ARROWVERSE, which we'll get into. But
Well, yeah, but most stuff starts
in
the end of this month, beginning
September.
of next month.
Football starts in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, which is really all we'll do a episode of football review or something there now. So we wanted to start off. Last week we went and saw Atomic Blonde on Tuesday. What did you think of the movie?
I thought it was fun. It was a good popcorn movie. It wasn't as good as some of David Fincher's previous movies, which I think is probably what people were expecting. It wasn't as good as John Wick 2 or... did he do one?
He did. He was the co-director on John Wick 1.
Yeah.
And and I liked it a lot. I liked you can't talk about it without talking about the action sequences and the soundtrack that seems to be a theme with movies right now with Guardians and Baby Driver and Atomic Blonde and stuff like that. I liked it being set around the fall of the wall.
Yep.
Not about the fall of the wall itself, but kind of the life that was going on around it, which is kind of a unique spin of that Cold War time era stuff.
And as a member of the populace, you didn't really know kind of all that spy stuff that was going on.
Right. And
so it's kind of cool.
We're learning about it now.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of documentaries and stuff about all the things that they did during the Cold War.
Yeah.
It was really good. The plot had some issues. The script had some issues, but I mean, I wasn't going in expecting it to be Dunkirk or Citizen Kane. Yes, I just put Dunkirk and Citizen Kane in the same sentence. But I also, I just wanted to go in and have some fun action. Charlize Theron kicking ass and James McAvoy being pretty damn awesome. So
I think that thinking about it after we went and saw it, I think that the action stuff was great, and you're going with it, and then there were kind of these drawn out periods of no action, and I think that's where some people were kind of like
we talked about it on our Stardust review on the way out, that if they took maybe 15 minutes out of that movie, probably would have done a lot better. So there were some scenes that didn't really like you were saying, kind of slowed the flow down. But there's also just some scenes just for scene's sake, and I just, I'm never going to complain about a lesbian scene with Charlize Theron in it. I'm just not. And them wearing lingerie all the time. It was the 80s, so I'm not going to complain about that either. But if you cut some of that out or down, maybe it'll be a little bit more well received.
Yeah.
Would you give it as a score?
Ooh. Maybe a 6.5.
That's kind of what I was at, 6.5. I'm debating on buying it because it will be something we watch multiple times for the funness of it.
Yeah.
And the DVD extras, if they talk about all the fight stuff that they did and putting it all together,
which
really
David
cool.
Fincher is good at doing that.
Right. So definitely worth a watch, but probably don't need to spend the money on a full matinee. Wait till a dollar theater.
Sure.
Okay. We talked about the Stardust app. We are in partnership with them. Stardust app is this really fun app where you can download it from your iOS or your Google Play Store, and you set up your account using either your Facebook or your Twitter or both, and you can do little 30-second reviews of TV shows or movies or trailer reactions, or they had the UFC fight on there, like a quick reaction to the UFC fight. So we're on it. We do stuff all the time for it. In fact, we did one for Doctor Who this weekend from, what was that, season 6 or something like that. So we're reacting to all kinds of different things. So please download the app. Get on there, and the first thing you need to do once you get all set up and everything is go find the Pop Culture Cult. We're actually on there as Pop Culture Cult, all one word. Like us first, and then go like all of your friends, and then some of our friends, late to the party, schmoes, that kind of thing. So help us out, help them out. It's working out pretty good so far. So Netflix bought this creator-owned comic book company called Millar World. And the reason we bring this up is because Netflix we were talking about it over dinner, that Netflix is kind of doing this push to do lower budget but still good stories, and a lot of big name actors and directors are starting to go that way, more of the streaming service. You spend a little bit smaller budget, but you can still do good stuff, and Netflix is willing to let people just do whatever they want to do. Sense 8. And so Millar World got bought, and it's this independent comic book company, and they brought us The Kingsman and Wanted and Kick-Ass and the Reborn series, and Netflix purchased the rights to everything except for Kingsman and Kick-Ass are actually still under contract with something else.
That makes sense.
But are you excited about them trying to buy out a whole comic book company?
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's kind of working with Marvel. Now, obviously, they don't own Marvel, but they have kind of the streaming franchise on it, and that's working out for them.
Right.
So yeah, see some more new stuff.
I think it's cool they're going to more of the independent comics. Valiant. There've been a lot of pushing for the Valiant universe to kind of be bought up by, and they're working on. There's different production companies working on that and stuff to try to get that into their. Because Valiant's got some good stuff out there, and Millar World's got some good stuff. I mean, obviously, we love Kick-Ass, and we love Kingsman, and so I'm just really excited about them.
I think that opens up the door for other comic book companies too to kind of bring some of their stuff to life.
Right. And my wet dream is Dark Horse.
Yeah, that's one of the ones I was thinking of.
Gets bought out by Amazon, and they bring Buffy back.
Yeah,
Buffy and Angel, and that whole do the Buffy the Vampire Slayer, or the Next Generation, or whatever. I mean, however they want to do it. But that storyline continued on after the series, and they're bringing it to an end soon too. But Dark Horse has got a ton of stuff that we love, and so that would be really cool if they did that.
Yeah.
We did possibly the best episode of Game of Thrones ever.
Well. Battle of the Bastards is still
Battle of the Bastards
my
is pretty awesome.
favorite, but it was good.
Not that you haven't seen it already, but fire fucking dragons. It's all over the internet. I'm not spoiling anything. But the episode was really good. We did a full review last night and posted it right after the episode. And then we went and watched a bunch of stuff today and realized we missed a bunch of stuff. Because
and we went 45 minutes. I mean, there was so much.
There was so much. It's the shortest episode ever for Game of Thrones, and I think we might have gone longer than they did, and we missed some stuff. And there was still a bunch of stuff that we wanted to talk about that we just didn't get into.
Yeah, like the stunts. I mean, we talked about it a little bit, but and then somebody brought up spoilers, the chopping the the horse leg
off. Yeah.
And right after we got done with our review, I was like, oh, I wanted to talk about the Dothraki getting up on the horses
and shooting arrows and stuff. It's so well done.
Yeah.
So please, I'll tag it to the end of this video. Please go give it a watch. If you're caught up, if you're not caught up on Game of Thrones, do not watch it. We spoil the shit out of everything, and which we won't do here. But you've been warned. Go watch it as a review. And the yet-to-be-sponsored Schmoedown Match of the Week segment. We had 2 matches this week. We had the Beast, Michael Bibiani, and part of the Growling Commandos. They have to change that name. Growl. Took on Scott Matz. And for a spot in the Ultimate Schmoedown singles match, Bibiani pretty much walked away with it.
Yeah, that was bad.
He went 8 for 8 in the first round, missed the extra. He's one of 4 to ever do it, to get all 8 in the first round and get the extra point. He missed it this time, but he's the first one to go twice, still 8 for 8 in the first round.
Yeah,
just really awesome. But the best match of the week was Mike Kalinowski, the killer. Because he's such a bad guy. He's a really nice guy.
I'm threatened.
And Rachel Cushing, they had an Inner Geekdom match. Now, I thought it was just a regular match, but it was for an Inner Geekdom thing. And he came out dressed as Captain America, gave flowers to Rachel. It was really cool. And she came out, her entrance was Galadriel. And she did the whole... when Frodo tries to give her the ring, I'm dark and beautiful, and did the whole thing, and she was a whole dress. It was really, really
glowing. Her eyes were glowing.
Yeah, it was
awesome.
That's probably the best twosome entrance we've had so far this year.
Yeah,
there's been some really good entrances individually, but the 2 of them came out really well.
Yeah,
just a really, really good match. I actually went back and watched the last probably 4 or 5 minutes when I was doing the notes, and Kalinowski had a chance at it.
Yeah,
and
it was close.
And he could not remember the opening song from Deadpool.
Just call me Angel of the Morning, Angel.
So bad. He is so good until it comes down to the pressure points. Puddin'. Come on, you missed Puddin'. But Rachel gets her seat in the 3-way Inner Geekdom title match. So there will be 2 more Inner Geekdom matches coming up in the next week or so, and then the 3 winners will go against each other. The winner of that match will go against whoever has the belt at Collider Collision at the end of the year.
Right. Now, but Mike's not 100% out, right? Because they're going to do kind of a losers runoff.
Yeah,
thing.
They're going to do a 5-way. I think they said a 5-way. Was that? I think that's no. Matt's was the 5-way. For the last seat in the Ultimate Schmoedown,
Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna do a 5-way fatal for the last open spot because Tim Franco can't be there.
Right, that's right.
So they had to fill the spot, and they're gonna do a fatal 5-way. Tim, freaking Tim! I wish he could be there.
It better be like a wedding or somebody's baby.
It's his job. It's his job.
Quit your job. I know. It's a library. You can get a job.
It's okay, Frank.
You come up here. You can get a job at a library up here.
I work for a municipality. They're looking for library aides all the time. So, really good matches. Some really good matches are coming up this week. Again with the Inner Geekdom stuff, and then the team Ultimate Schmoedown is starting in 2 weeks, I believe, and it's going to be full on for. There'll be 4 matches each of the first 2 weeks. And I know that Robert and Vanessa from Lights of the Party were there last weekend filming there. So we're really looking forward to it. Please, if you are interested in sponsoring the Ultimate Schmoedown Match of the Week segment on our show, please get a hold of us. We'll be happy to sponsor you.
Your name
or you
here.
Sponsor us. Something like that. So The Dark Tower came out this weekend.
It did.
I won't say bad reviews, but they're more like lukewarm reviews.
Right.
And it's a 95-minute movie based off of 8 books.
8 books. And they're not small books. They're right over there.
At some point in time, I need to just bring the stack over, and we'll just show the whole stack. But it made $19 million. Very disappointing. As it was talked about in multiple places today. Welcome to August. Everybody's kind of burnt out on movies.
Yeah, unless you've got some big name, action-packed.
Right.
You're just not everybody's got a movie hangover.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. It's been every weekend for us for almost 2 months.
And
so.
multiple. We've been doing multiple movies.
But the Hollywood Reporter has reported that they're going to do a spin-off series of The Dark Tower based off the books, but a companion series, I guess is the best way to put it, with the movie.
Yeah, I from what I mean, it's been very sketchy, limited what's coming out. Like there was questions about does Matthew McConaughey and Idris Elba, are they in it?
Right.
Are they just going to pretend that the movie didn't happen? Because, haha, I'm vindicated. All you people saying it's a continuation after the books are... No, it wasn't.
No.
It was there were pieces from all the books in it, which... I don't know how they're going to do this, because...
Well, I had some notes. So it's previously reported the series itself won't hinge on the feature film, but will contain a bit of an overlap as part of the adaptation of the fourth book of the series, The Wizard and the Glass, which is primarily a prequel novel about the origins of Roland.
Right.
Idris Elba is slated to appear as Roland, the gunslinger, along with Dennis Hasbert as his father, and Stephen Deschain and Deschain and Tom Taylor as Jake Chambers.
Okay.
So Tom Taylor is the kid, right?
Well,
Jake Chambers is
the kid.
Right. So I think Tom Taylor was the actor who played the kid. And so if they do the series based on that, see, I always envisioned if they were going to really do it, either they do 8 2-hour I won't say episodes, but installments of each book. Or you could do 8 seasons of 10 episodes and have each season be a book. But
so The Gunslinger, which is the very first book in this whole series of 8, Stephen King wrote like in college, and it's really just about him and the Dark Man, right? The Man in Black,
right?
And I mean, there's not a whole lot to it. He's wandering through the desert, and the Man in Black is chasing him, and he goes to this house where Jake Chambers ultimately ends up coming into his universe, but that's later, and then it
sounds like a pilot episode to me.
Yeah, I mean, that one could be super short just to introduce
the universe and the characters and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, but there's other characters. This is why they can't use the movie to make the series, because one of the books is called Susanna's Song, and Susanna there's actually 4 people, and that's what the second book, The Drawing of 3, is all about, is him bringing Jake into his world, and then I think Eddie's next, and then Susanna, and then the 4 of them are off on this mission to get them back to Earth and save the Dark Tower and all of that. So it's I don't know.
I'm interested to see if Idris Elba is actually supposed to appear as Roland, that he's not just taking roles to take a role. He has pick of the litter right now, and so if he's willing to step in and be part of it, I could be interested. The former showrunner from Walking Dead and The Shield, Glenn Maraza, is actually going to run the series. So from the first few seasons of Walking Dead, and The Shield was amazing. I mean, so they've got a good showrunners and stuff like that.
So where is this going?
There's nothing official yet about where it's going, but they're looking at 10 to 13 episodes, and aiming for a cable provider, as it says in the article, aiming for a cable provider before beginning production in 2018.
Yeah. So I mean, if they get AMC, they might be able to do something with it.
FX would be a good one too.
FX, yeah.
Sci-fi is kind of going that kind of direction of that
That's
new
true.
original series. That would be kind of interesting.
That's true, but sci-fi has a history, at least, of not really putting a lot of money.
Well, they're trying to get away from that. I mean, they had a whole restructuring and stuff like that, and they're putting money behind stuff, and so it was obvious with their Comic-Con coverage and everything.
Yeah, that's true.
So we'll see. And I'm hesitant, but we'll see. I'm interested, but hesitant. So they are going to do another 4-way crossover of the ARROWVERSE.
Sorta.
No, they actually said they're actually going to be 4.
I thought it was only going to be 3.
No, it's going to be 4.
Okay.
And what they're going to do is they're going to, instead of doing 4 nights, they're going to do 2 nights.
Right.
And they're going to move Arrow to Monday night, and they're going to move Legends to Tuesday night. And so they'll have Supergirl, Arrow back to back, and then they'll have Flash and Legends back to back on Tuesday. And this will all happen November 27th, 28th, so the end of November. And I think that's the week after Thanksgiving. The Monday, Tuesday after
Thanksgiving. That's about when they did it
last
time.
year, yeah. And so before the holiday break, they'll have all these 4.
Right.
So we really liked the 3-way crossover with Supergirl for 2 seconds. Last year was so well done. But this year, where's the quote? Sir Berlanti said, if we end up doing what we're talking about doing, it's going to be pretty cool. That was Mark Grungenheim. Guggenheim.
Maybe it's Guggenheim.
And then Berlanti said that it's that romance. The rumor has been there's romancing in the air, and so Berlanti, who is the showrunner for all the shows, said it's true. Our way of making the show bigger this year was to go a little bit more, even more personal. So it's a big life event with a bunch of different people on the show. And so are we finally going to get Barry and were we finally going to get the marriage?
Oh, maybe.
On Flash?
Yeah.
Are we finally going to get the...
Well, it can't be a baby because they don't have time.
Well, no. And it's not going to be Olicity. And we're not going to get Black Canary and Oliver yet.
Yeah.
That'll happen probably maybe next year or the year after. They got to set that whole thing up.
Yeah, there's no other couples.
Right.
That are...
They'll the Supergirl, Barry will go to Earth 38 and have to explain to her that we're getting married and you need to come, and then the Arrow episode will be the bachelor party, and the Flash episode will be the bachelorette party, and then there'll be timey-wimey and shit in the
they can go get married like in the Middle Ages
in Middle Ages or something. But I like the fact that they're not going to try to do this big epic 4-way crossover again this year. It would seem like they'd have to top what they did last year.
Yeah. And
that would be really, really hard on a TV budget.
It's interesting that they're not bringing in the new show, and I can't think of what the
Black
name
Lightning.
There. So
Black Lightning is run by Berlanti, but is not in the Arrowverse.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, it's not.
Oh.
At least everything that's been reported is not within the Arrowverse. Now, because of Flash, everything could possibly be within the Arrowverse.
Thanks, Barry.
I can have a whole conversation about Flashpoint movie. We're not going to do that tonight. But Black Lightning hasn't set itself up yet, I think, to be within this.
Right. It just seems like that would be a good way. You bring all those viewers from Arrow
right,
and Flash.
Right, and that's what they did with Flash. They brought Barry onto Arrow, and then they introduced him, and then they started Flash, and they did the same thing with all the characters on Arrow and Flash, and they put Legends of Tomorrow and stuff, and then they went and bought Supergirl from CBS. But I'm looking forward to it. I really like the 4-way, and we're gonna try to keep up with it instead of trying to wait till the end of the year.
Right. Well, we might not have a DVR anymore, so we might not have a choice.
That's true. Because cable's stupid. Talking about, okay, so the next two stories, I'm going to have a little bit of a
childhood meltdown.
A little bit, okay? I am wearing my Bill and Ted shirt because some things are sacred and they can't be remade. Yes, I just said that. They're doing a Karate Kid remake.
So, is the world clamoring for a Karate Kid remake? I mean, didn't we do that with Will and Jada's son?
Jaden Smith and oh my God, what the hell is his name? Drunken Master and Rush Hour and Shanghai Nights, and everybody's now screaming at us on the internet. I'll think of it in a minute.
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan, there you go. Oh, Jesus Christ. We're a hot mess. Yes, they did. And actually, it was really good. I thought it was really well done. And,
it was.
And that would have been a cool, do a couple different movies, but that would have been cool. But this is Ralph Macchio and William Zabka.
Because Ralph Macchio's aged so well.
I think that's kind of the point. Are the two of them are going to be involved in the show. And William Zabka is going to be playing his character again of Johnny. He's reopened Cobra Kai, which restarts the rivalry between... No, not that Cobra Kai. That's the Global Gym Cobras. Gym Cobras, that's different. And then... the rivalry with Daniel LaRusso will be re-sparked, who has found success as an adult, but is still lost without his mentor of Mr. Miyagi. I have zero interest in this. The first one was really, really, really good. You cannot convince me that frickin' Danny is the bad guy in the movie. Never. Cobra Kai is the bad guys. Always. I understand the argument. It's not true. Don't believe in it. The second one was pretty good when they went to Okinawa. The third one with Elizabeth Shue? No, it wasn't Elizabeth Shue. Anyways, the third one was good, but not... I mean, it was just like... It was... like recast everyone, and then like we said, the Jaden Smith, Jackie Chan one was really good, and so that made sense to me. And but there's not clamoring for it. They were all here for Phoenix Comic-Con last year. They were doing the Comic-Con circuit, and they were, there was this draw for them all over the country to show up at freaking Comic-Cons and do stuff. So I'm thinking that they think that there's a clamoring for it, except there isn't, because YouTube Red, the paid YouTube channel for TV, is picking it up.
Oh. All right.
And they're going to do 10 episodes, and it's going to be titled Cobra Kai. I just don't... Okay. I don't understand this one. I don't understand it at all.
I don't either, but it goes back to our conversation about everybody moving to streaming services.
That's true. That's true.
I'm not paying for YouTube Red for Karate Kid remake.
No, but if they did some really cool stuff, I could be tucked into it.
Right. But just like we're not going to pay for CBS Now or whatever it's called
for Discovery.
The new Star Trek thing.
Right.
I'd really like to see it, but I'm not going to pay for it for just that.
Right. It just doesn't make any sense for us. So, and like we just talked about, we're talking about getting rid of our cable because
There's a ton of stuff we don't watch and we're paying a lot of money for.
We have 400 channels. I think we watch maybe like 35 of them.
Yeah, maybe.
And I would say half of those are like ESPN and the MLB network, because we like watching baseball and football and college football and stuff like that. And so, in half the season, we're not even watching some of those channels, because I'm not watching the Big Ten network during the middle of the summer when they're doing track. I love track and field, but I'm not watching women's field hockey and track and field and the Big Ten network. I'm keeping it around so I can watch the Big Ten games in the morning before the Pac-12 games come on the West Coast. Just being honest here. So I just don't understand paying a streaming service for one show. Not yet.
Yep.
However, about shows that are being remade.
This one I can get behind.
Miami Vice is getting a renewal show as well. Now they're not really set on what, we have these actors in it and it's going to this network and that kind of thing. They're in the very initial stages, but Vin Diesel's production company called One Race Television is going to bring the show back, and it says for NBC. And so he's working with Chris Morgan Production, and Vin Diesel and Chris Morgan have been the collaborators for the last 4 or 5 Fast and the Furious movies. And one of my favorite movies is the Michael Mann Miami Vice with Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx.
Yep. It's a good movie.
I was
can
not
watch it right now.
It's not. We're watching Game of Thrones again.
Okay.
Don't get me going, because I could watch it right now too. And the director's cut, not the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
We'll get and that was very different from the original show.
It was, but it had enough of the feel that
they had the speedboats and the cool cars.
It's back to what I was talking about. If they redid The Stand, it's the same show, but it's brought up to date.
Right.
And so it didn't feel campy or dumb. It felt cool and hip, like it was in the 80s.
The original one was cool and hip, but still had moments of campiness.
But not when it came out.
Well, they winked and nodded themselves a lot.
A little.
A little. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't like modern cop shows where it's dong dong, like we're serious all the time. They made jokes at themselves and the buddy cop kind of feel to it, but then they were also serious.
Bit. Yeah, a little bit, but not a lot.
But I like the idea of bringing that kind of the Fast and the Furious. We just talked about this the other day. We really like the Fast and the Furious series for its ridiculousness at times. And that it is a fun popcorn movie. If you want to take that kind of look and feel and everything and put it in Miami, and you can go to Cuba and do stuff, and you can have that kind of feel. Now, it's NBC. They're going to put a little bit of money into it. It's going to be 22 episodes, which means it's going to be probably about 10 episodes too long. But if they get the right people behind it, it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool that Vin Diesel's production company has done a lot of other things other than just the Fast and Furious stuff.
Yeah.
But now they're expanding into TV. I mean, that's not you're going to make a ton of money, but if you get freaking Hawaii Five-O's on season 9 or whatever, you know, and they're making tons of money over there on Hawaii Five-O. So.
Yeah, and I mean, I loved the original Miami Vice. I watched it every week when it came out, and I like some of the recurring drama. You know, I like CSI Las Vegas and ER, and so some of those I've liked.
Right.
So
that makes sense. I could really be into that one. One of my favorite shows of all time was a show called
Lie to Me.
Fastlane.
Oh, Fastlane, yeah.
It was a one year at 13 episodes, but it was a 90s version of Miami Vice.
Yeah.
And they used everything that they seized, and they were undercover cops, and so it was that kind of bright and shiny in South Florida kind of show. Mm-hmm. So there you go. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. So, and I won't even get into they want to bring back 30 Rock. They want to bring back all that stuff. It's like there's too much good stuff out there. We might do a rant and rave this week on freaking production companies right now because we're having issy fits because fucking Emoji Movie. What do you guys think? That's this week's show. Are you excited about Miami Vice? Dark Tower TV series? I don't know. And tell us what you thought of Atomic Blonde. We obviously like it. What do you guys think? Please like this video, leave us a comment, and tell us what you feel we missed this week in the news. You can also get a hold of us on Facebook at the Pop Culture Cult. We're PopCultureCult1 on Instagram, and we're at Pop_Cult1 on Twitter. Also, please go download the Stardust app on your iOS or Google Play, whatever it is that you have, stores. Download it. Set up your account. It's completely 100% free. Like the Pop Culture Cult first, and then start going and reviewing all of the movies and TV shows. It's little 30-second videos, and share it with the world, and let everybody know what you're thinking about when you're watching this stuff.
Yep.
And until next time, where's the off button? Good night now.